Nkem, a 12-year-old girl with chocolate-brown skin, is seen sweeping the front of a luxurious mansion. The street is bustling with life, people selling wares, children heading to school, and vehicles honking. Nkem's face reflects innocence, though her oversized uniform and worn-out shoes reveal her struggles. Her master, Okutali, a tall, middle-aged man dressed in a thick white shirt and tailored trousers, steps out with a stern expression. Others are called to fetch water quickly. Nkem rushes nervously, balancing a bucket larger than her head. In the kitchen, Nkem overhears the cook and the maid whispering about the master's frequent, unkind treatment of her. Their worried faces hint that something is wrong, but they stop talking when Nkem enters. One night, the master, Okutali, calls Nkem into his study. The room is dimly lit, with bookshelves lining the walls. He warns her not to talk to anyone about their household matters. Nkem looks frightened but nods obediently. Late at night, Nkem hides under her small bed in the servants' quarters, clutching her knees. Tears stream down her face as she wishes for her late parents, recalling happier days in her village. Nkem discovers an envelope addressed to her in the kitchen. Inside is a small note with words of encouragement. "Stay strong. Justice will come." She wonders who left it. Okutali begins to show undue attention to Nkem, offering her sweets and small gifts. Nkem is wary but too afraid to reject his gestures. The other house staff start noticing but remain silent. One stormy night, Nkem hears the master, Okutali, entering her room. Weeks pass and Nkem starts feeling unwell. The housemaid notices her frequent vomiting and whispers with the cook. Suspicion grows. The master calls a private doctor, who examines Nkem and confirms her pregnancy. Okutali dismisses the doctor angrily, threatening him to keep quiet. He tells the staff and neighbors that Nkem has fallen ill from a strange sickness and insists she must remain indoors. Nkem, weak and confused, is told to stay quiet. Meanwhile, the cook begins to piece things together and secretly plans to gather evidence. The housemaid, Aduk, discreetly begins to leave food and water in Nkem's room. One night, she whispers to Nkem, "Don't give up. I will find a way to help you." Nkem nods but doesn't say a word, still afraid of the master's threats. A neighbor, an elderly market vendor who frequently sees Nkem sweeping, begins to ask questions when she no longer sees the girl outside. The master brushes off her concerns, but the woman's curiosity grows. One night, Nkem tries to sneak out of the mansion, but the master catches her just as she reaches the gate. He drags her back inside, warning her that worse things will happen if she tries again. Aduk secretly writes a letter to the police, detailing Nkem's situation and the master's behavior. She hands it to the cook, who agrees to deliver it during her market visit. The police arrive at the mansion unexpectedly, claiming they are investigating reports of child abuse. The master puts on a calm demeanor and denies everything, even as the staff exchange nervous glances. During the police visit, Nkem, trembling with fear, suddenly speaks up. She tells the officers about her treatment and how she's been confined to the house. Okutali tries to interrupt, but the officers ask him to step aside. The police arrest him and take him away for further questioning. Nkem watches from the window, unsure whether to feel relieved or scared of what comes next. The cook and Aduk comfort her, promising she is safe now. The case goes to court, and the master denies all charges, claiming Nkem is lying. Aduk and the cook testify against him, providing evidence to back Nkem's story. Behind closed doors, the master's wife, Adora, sits in the bedroom trembling with fear. She has known about Nkem's pregnancy for weeks. One night, she overheard a heated argument between her husband and the young girl. Though her heart breaks for Nkem, Adora feels powerless. She fears her husband's wrath and the shame such a revelation could bring to their family. When the police came to the house, Adora had wanted to confess everything, but she froze. She tells herself, "If I stay quiet, it will all blow over." But her guilt begins to eat away at her. While cleaning the master's body, Aduk notices Adora pacing nervously. The two exchange glances, and Aduk suspects Adora knows more than she's letting on. Later, Aduk gently approaches her and says, "Madam, you have the power to help Nkem." Adora bursts into tears but refuses to speak. She begs Aduk to stay quiet, whispering, "You don't understand what he's capable of. He'll ruin us all." Meanwhile, Chief Dyke, one of Okutali's closest friends, hears about the investigation and panics. He has a shady business partnership with Okutali and fears the truth will expose them both. Determined to sabotage the case, Chief Dyke bribes a junior police officer to destroy key evidence, including Aduk's letter. Soon after, the police discover that the original letter Aduk sent is missing from their records. Back at the mansion, the cook notices someone rifling through her belongings in the servants' quarters but doesn't catch them in time. She suspects someone is trying to cover up the crime. Adora continues to struggle with her conscience. Quietly, she starts recording her husband's late-night phone calls, hoping to collect damning evidence. But her fear keeps her from handing the recordings to the police. At the children's shelter, Nkem slowly opens up to social workers. She tells them in greater detail about the master's threats and abuse. Still, she admits she fears no one will believe her. Chief Dyke pressures Adora to stay silent, warning that if her husband goes to prison, she'll lose everything. Adora feels trapped, torn between her loyalty to her husband and her moral obligation to protect Nkem. Determined to expose the truth, Aduk convinces the cook to help her smuggle out copies of Adora's secret recordings. They hand them over to the police in secret, risking their jobs and their safety. Unable to bear the pressure any longer, Adora finally confesses everything to the police. She provides more recordings and admits she knew about Nkem's pregnancy but remained silent out of fear. The recordings also expose Chief Dyke's attempt to sabotage the case. The police arrest him, adding more weight to the case against the master. With overwhelming evidence, the court convicts Okutali and Chief Dyke. Nkem, now stronger and more confident, gives a closing statement. "I won't let this define me. I will rise above it." Moral lesson: every child deserves a safe and nurturing home. We must speak up against injustice and protect the most vulnerable among us. Silence in the face of evil allows it to thrive. Speak up even when it's hard. Stand for what is right. Please share what lessons you learned in the comments and let me know where you're watching from. If you enjoyed this story, please support my channel by subscribing, liking, and sharing with those you care about. Until I come your way again with more powerful stories, bye.